I don't even know, guys. I'm so sorry. It's been a million years, but I miss y'all a bunch. So, yeah, today's just a bit of a life update. And I just want to talk about the endless loop of not being productive and why I want to encourage people who are in a similar scenario to just break free from that. But yeah, to start the story, we go way, way back. For context, this was in 2021 when COVID had kind of shut everyone and everything down, and the media consumption was, in my mind, at its absolute peak that I've ever personally witnessed. I was not even trying to capitalize off of the fact, and honestly was pretty unaware that this was the case at the time, but rather, I had recently been reintroduced to Hypixel Bed Wars by a few friends from an old friend group and did genuinely enjoy playing it. At the time, we were all still kind of playing Fortnite and just wasting our lives away. And even at that time, I did not even own a quarter of the setup that I have right now. And I could have 100% done more in terms of making videos or streaming, graphic design, 3D modeling, animation, all my personal hobbies, but I didn't. I don't know if this is even relatable or not, but when I was a teenager, I was insanely creative. And the only thing I felt like at the time that was holding me back, or so I thought, was my lack of equipment to do more of like the creative type work that I really genuinely like enjoyed doing. The kind of setup I have now, my 14-year-old self would have genuinely never even dreamed of. And I try to thank God every time I think about what I've been blessed with. But if my 14-year-old self saw this setup and all the things I'm not doing, he'd probably hunt me down and take me out like Liam Neeson. When I was a kid, I would just walk around my neighborhood thinking my audience for 1 million subscribers, just dreaming one day it might actually happen, and no one would even know if I didn't tell you. If you were an early 2000s kid like me and you grew up with YouTube and just watching these people, you build a semi-parasocial relationship with most of them over the course of years watching. You felt their accomplishments whenever they hit big milestones in a way you can't even describe. Like it was like an infectious smile seeing them do so well. I think that did carry over to now, although it's not quite the same, but it has always been one heck of a cool thought to reach that kind of milestone. You see, I never really took off streaming or making videos, and believe it or not, at one point I had uploaded over 1,000 videos on this very channel, and I had a humble 212 subscribers with 1,000 videos. I used to stream Minecraft on YouTube way back in 2018 when YouTube streaming was not very popular, especially in the Minecraft niche. I want to catch you up now since you've heard enough about my backstory growing up. Here are a few big reasons I ever was so consistent in 2021. One of them was that my brother told me I did not have the personality for it and I would not make it. Shout out to Cameron. He was kind of right. I hated working as a line cook at Olive Garden. I was pretty motivated to start streaming for no real reason that I can think of. But Bedwars was just fun to me since it was so different than what I had been playing and not enjoying at the time. I streamed 8 hours a day for the next 7 months on top of working full-time at Olive Garden. And when I started doing quite well on Twitch in terms of growth and reaching goals for myself, it was almost like a drug. I got so hyper fixated on growing that I completely isolated myself, and my biggest focus at the time was Twitch and what I could do to improve numbers and make that a living and a career. Here's where the story starts taking a turn. I got absolutely burnt out. I was tired, I was angry, I was egotistical, it was borderline unbearable to be around in real life. I started becoming so materialistic that all I wanted was the next thing. I thought if I just hit this number, I'll be satisfied. I thought if I just acquired this, it will make my content better, and I used that to justify making purchases I probably should not have. Couple all that with also getting a new job that was actually bearable and not awful at the time, you get the hardest fall off of mankind, which should definitely be studied one day. I got everything I wanted. I got Twitch partner. I got YouTube rank on Hypixel. I got the setup of my dreams. And I was genuinely the most unhappy I've ever been in my entire life. Setting goals is good, and without them, it's not a good place to be either. If those goals are all you look forward to, you're going to have one heck of a rude awakening when you achieve them. Because the truth is, without God on your mind, you'll never have enough, and you'll always want and desire more. But true contentment for me has been realizing none of it matters. Everyone has their 5 minutes of fame, and mine was up. All I could think about in that time was Ecclesiastes 1:14. I've seen all the things that are done under the sun. All of them are meaningless, a chasing after the wind. And Proverbs 26:11. Like a dog that returns to his vomit, is a fool who repeats his foolishness. With all that being said, it has been literal years since that happened, and if anyone knows me, they know I haven't exactly accomplished anything major in that time. I want to do something that genuinely matters. I don't know, but I feel like this type of thing could be God's calling for me. I was talking to my brother's wife, who's a teacher, and she said a lot of students have the dream job of wanting to be a content creator. That just hit me a little differently. Not because it's not possible or people should not strive to do something if they have a real passion for it, but because people might take the same path I did, and I don't want that for anybody. At the same time, you should all do something you have a genuine passion for, because people can tell, and that's important, no matter what you do. I got lazy and complacent and comfortable. Instead of pursuing a future in terms of a career, I just laid back. Instead of pursuing hobbies and being a creator, I fell into the trap of being a consumer. When you're a creator and you stop creating, the more breaks you take, the more you don't want to create. It's a vicious cycle, and it really does suck. You get stuck in this mindset thinking about building it back, but it's too much work and it won't work out. That's what your mind tells you. Who cares, right? Why should that stop anyone from doing anything? Numbers ultimately don't matter if you don't let them, and nothing has to be perfect for you to do. Last little update, my life, I met a girl that I want to spend the rest of my life with. I love her, and she is one of the best things that has ever happened to me. All of this to say, if God would not have taught me a very valuable lesson with everything, I have genuinely no clue if I would have ever met someone I love as much as her. Because I might have looked for the wrong things years ago. She's brilliant, she's absolutely beautiful, she's talented, she's wise beyond her years, and everything that I've ever prayed for in a woman. I don't know what my life will look like in the years to come, but I hope she is there in it. And if not, all I will be able to do is pray she finds someone who loves her as much as I do.